I was reminded that Socrates once said, or wrote, or somebody said that he did, meaning it is attributed to him, that the highest degree of wisdom we can attain is the realization of how little we know. Not surprisingly, I find this very comforting, whether Socrates said it or not. Having his stamp on it doesn't hurt, however. I like to hear it said or written because I think I'm there, right in the pocket. You know, enlightenment, spiritual bliss. I know I don't know much, and I've known that for quite some time. From the get-go, people have been telling me how little I know. I don't think I've been, at any time in my life, what is called a know-it-all. If there was a question about something, people did not immediately gravitate toward me, thinking they'd get the answer. I was more likely one of those with the question. I could have gone on an anti-Jeopardy show, where you win points for the wrong answer, and I could have been a contender. I've never known that much about anything. Some people's knowledge is broad and shallow. Others is deep but narrow. They're specialists. Narrow and shallow describes me. I have a superficial understanding of a pitifully small number of things, considering the possible subjects for study in this world. A person who knows a great deal about many things is called a polymath. I'd call myself a Google math. I know whatever Google can tell me about anything. But if you believe Socrates, then my shortcoming in the matter of knowledge, intelligence, or learning, whatever you want to call it, this lack is really a blessing. If he's right, and who is going to contradict the great Socrates, then I'm a wise man. The tables have turned, baby. In fact, reflecting on the poverty of my knowledge, in every aspect of it, I'm a very wise man. I feel like I found a pearl in my own personal pigsty. Certainly, this allows me to buff up the self-image. Now, when I confront my lack of knowledge, as I daily do, I don't have to be frustrated or march out the entire parade of my inadequacies. I merely need to remind myself that this apparent goof is really a sign of wisdom. Maybe it works like this. I know very little. Socrates makes a thing rare. Scarcity makes a thing rare. By this alchemy, my ignorance is transformed into profundity. I'm standing alone in the dairy section of the grocery, wondering what I'm doing there. A wise man. I'm fumbling for an answer when my wife asks me a question about the furnace. A wise man. Not knowing what they're talking about when a group of men in a fantasy football league discuss the best players to select for a team. Another sign of wisdom. When I'm at work and they tell me I've got 30 seconds to fix something that I've done wrong, and I spend the first 29 of them singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider silently to myself, a near pinnacle of wisdom. When someone asks me the difference between brass and bronze, and how metals have shaped the development of civilization, or why gold is so valuable and not something else, like this pebble, a wise man. I'm grateful to Socrates for bailing me out on this. There I was, one click away from moron, and now I'm a goddamn Gandhi. I'm not sure how to spell Gandhi or exactly clear on what it was he did or said or wrote, but having plumbed the depths of my ignorance, I'm assured that it's really wisdom in drag. So if you hear someone say, a wise man once said, you can think of me, or Socrates. Same difference.